know what this is. I'm bored. Cups. Are you walking away from something? Or you just need someone to tell you when you're done. Everything's I was going to say, but no, I just just want something new, something newness. What if he really is God? Is it even worth fighting? Can you even win? And he's God. It's just in all these things, and no wonder. No wonder. No wonder they didn't stop. No wonder, like, so it's even matter, like saying to, I wasn't saying this earlier with God in mind, but just everyone sort of, that, I don't care what you want from my life. I don't care what you do. I don't care, yeah, everything just like seems so dire, and I'm just so tired of it. Just want to have fun. Be enjoying this. Go somewhere, do something fun. Hang out with people, laugh. Something other than my own jokes. That's another thing. Funny, he's funny. Listening to things I liked. Like whatever about him. More dry sense of humor maybe or something, but you didn't find my jokes funny. my jokes are more, I don't know, but humor, I don't know. Anything want to come through? Like, what is that? What does it mean if I stop? What does it mean if I don't stop? What am I giving up? What am I not giving? Like, these things need to be outlined and stated clearly. And so you know the parameters within which you're working, and then you can just make better decisions. And maybe I don't know how to feel. Once. Conflicted, maybe. That's how I feel. Until anything's made real, you know, you're just kind of like, all right, I'll just be here. Cat was made real. Some way. Because I did have that picture. Gray and white. Garments. And I moved in the Worth It playlist moved some videos around, especially these longer playlists that I just add to over time, you know, that aren't a like more so concise, focused playlist. Sometimes you know, I'm not paying attention, not going back and looking so much at the order that I'm adding things in till I did. So I moved some things around, and I put that metric song, Help I'm Alive. Yeah, that was me not joking. But and this little kitten just pops up out of nowhere. And it was weird. It was right by where years ago I thought that I was curious about this person that lived there, and I never saw them. But because of their license plate, there's just like a series of events where people were like pointed over their house. It was very mysterious how he kind of like came and went, and his license plate was Dr. Dr. something or other, and that's that whole story, you know. Going back to my parents, there was a love triangle, and there was this heart doctor, surgeon that was in love with my mom and wanted to marry her, but she chose my dad, and even like went to their wedding, sat in the back row and cried. I was thinking of it more as like a heart doctor, spiritual doctor maybe, or something. I don't know. And I just thought it was weird how my grandpa's name is Henry or Hank, and in that 51st Dates, it's like Dr. Henry Roth, and then Tupac, Psych Hank or something. See that name everywhere. I always thought I'd name a son Henry or something if I had a son someday. I really hope I have a daughter. I would not know what to do with like, Four of Swords, rambunctious boys. But actually, when I was a nanny, some of the sweetest kids were boys, and the girls were like. And I don't know, I think this playlist is really interesting, and that I just made, and it's talking about the perceptions and things that we really put on people and that we then take on because we're so used to being perceived a certain way or dealing with certain things that we just start to anticipate them, that they'll, happen in our life. And it's a really hard cycle to break, especially if you don't have something to offset it or outweigh that, or, to change the focus, to show you that there's something else that can happen given a certain situation. And that you shouldn't always maybe expect the worst or the same situation to continue occurring. Then you go back and forth and you're like, well, I'm also a thinking human being, and I can, see that like doing the same thing over and over is not going to probably yield the same, the right results if I'm not happy with how things are now. So I should probably change things. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Just want something fun to do. I just want to go out and have a good night. My God, is this so much that I'm asking for? Strength. Seven of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Time. Time to go. Time to do something. Time to rose in his mouth. He's a romantic lion. See, and that can mean a million things too. If you're not like in that the right, necessarily right, but like the context that the message is being conveyed in, probably not going to think of the right answer, the right meaning that could be alluding to. Yeah, I mean, I think it has a lot to do with just the perceptions and let's talk about something fun. What is there to talk about? Temperance, art. It's like a little pelican. Just thought of like a grocery bag. Or those grocery bags that you'd see around like Chinatown that they turned into like high-end bags. Celine, I think it was, back in the day. Oh, that's what I was going to do, because I did read did a private reading, oracle cards, and one was talking about making the mundane interesting, natural, supernatural, and the mundane interesting, and just felt like that really kind of coalesced with some of the people and their work that they're known for, like Andy Warhol, making the mundane interesting and an art object. I guess it just depends on how you look at it. It was already art. Mystery. Strength again. Has a little moth on top of his head. Kindness. And rest. Care. grow. This says peace and create peace. You create peace, I want the problem. You know? It's like 7th house. Everyone else that invades space, doesn't listen, doesn't take time to care, doesn't take time to listen, to understand, to give people the benefit of the doubt, judgments, put up limits, restrictions, block people, and all these things. I'm not the one who did it, you know? Like, I didn't put up limitations until you know? Try to reinforce boundaries until what I thought was obvious was crossed. This says deal. Deal. Transform. Okay. Transform came up before, maybe? Deal has never come up. I'm gonna deal with God. Entered into a contract with God, not realizing that when he said, all I want is you, is like, from shuffle, kind of tried to outline the parameters of our deal. And what do you want? If you give me things that I've been wanting and working towards in life, and the people, and, you know, just fulfill the basic needs that would make my life really great and happy, and what do you want? And it's just like, you came up on shuffle. I'm like, all right, you know, I'm all for God, you know, like, but joke's on me, I got married to God or something, I don't know. Not a joke, but you got me. I don't know what to say. Because that's what it feels like. I'm like, oh, now I'm like tied to, I don't know. It seems to just wanna, I'm just gonna stop talking. Mystery. And that is a Sphinx cat. Oh, I turned right to it. It's a cat. Fitting. This card represents mystery and magic, from the animal familiars of European folklore and witchcraft to the totems and spirit animals of shamanic practice in many North American indigenous cultures. People the world over viewed animals as guides into the realm of magic and the inner workings of the soul. This card symbolizes a gateway to magic, mystery, and dream, whether that manifests through faith, spirituality, or magical practice. Cats were sacred animals, sacred came up before, in ancient Egyptian society, and were associated with many deities, including Isis and Bastet. In Norse mythology, cats said to draw Freya's chariot, while the Muslim faith creatures are revered due to their cleanliness. In Chinese folklore, cats were considered the original caretakers of Earth. This card may represent the powerful magical or divine influence. The cat is both independent and social. They are both caring, empathetic creatures and deadly predators. Cats are complex beings who may be hard to read. This card reminds us that magic can be difficult to interpret, but to trust in what the universe has in store for you. I wish universe would get on with it, because I'm bored out of my mind and not doing anything I want to do and wasting time I don't have. So, on the surface, the and if I'm linked to universe and everything kind of aligns with my timing, then it's my time, you know, like I don't have to wait for timing. On the surface, the shadow reading of this card may warn you of ill omens, malicious individuals, or ill wishes. Black cat has often been maligned by folklore and Christian history as a portent of bad luck and evil. This is primarily a result of demonization of cats as witches, familiars during the European and early American witch trials, which is sadly endured as a superstition today. The shadow meaning of this card may warn against seeing misfortune or curses where there are none. Superstitious can be simple coincidence, and bad luck does not necessarily indicate a curse. Unless it's like continuing and you're like, something's up with this, you know, gotta kind of get to the bottom of it. This isn't normal. So, correspondences, element, spirit, flora, primrose, carnation, catnip, cinquefoil, myrrh, violet, stones, labradorite, lapis lazuli, merlinite, opal, spellwork, past life regression, divination, seeking answers, amplifying other spellwork, Samhain ritual. Maybe what I do unaware some sort of future technological magic that someone else is able to amplify with their like more natural magic or something. Who knows? Skull. Is that what it's going to be called? Skull? It's just one of those. Reminds me of the Southwest or. That's the thing. If you don't know what the things on the cards are called, then you're just looking for, and they should have made it go by the names of the card, not the animal. In alphabetical order, that would make a lot more sense and save time. Where is that? Like, who's ever heard of a peafowl? I thought it was a peacock. Just making my point. Okay, it's not in here, but you're just gonna have to, if I find it and see anything that's interesting, I'll put it in the notes because it might be. Just deal with it. That's what I've been doing. I'm kind of over it. Or just deal. Emperor. High Priestess. The High Priestess is silent, usually like very quiet. Something came through about either her or a different, her whatever, High Priestess, and or maybe it was another archetype in the deck that kind of came through as like speaking through them, almost like as a silent sort of. But that's what I don't know how sometimes you feel like people are like their eyes change or they say something that they wouldn't normally know, or, just kind of being a conduit of sorts. Neglected. Just sort of seem to come through as like what happens on the news. I'm like, that's not. Not all the time, just seems to happen a lot to my father, my mother. If it's real or not, just like making it up, but I prefer it not to be real because that's just kind of creepy. Swords, Empress. Okay, look, if people are gonna be like switching identities and bodies and all that, like you really can't blame me for being totally confused and not being able to make a decision about anything regarding that, the chariot. So, you just want to make sure you're dotting all your I's and crossing your T's or something like that, which is another thing I realized I think is great about him is that he seems like someone who's very on top of things, but not that I'm not, but I think on another level, someone who is very, like, just needs to see every single, like, freaking thing, and like, oh, okay, didn't realize, but okay. Those kinds of things that you just don't realize about someone until, and that makes up a relationship. So how could you ever, and I'm not, it's just like, I'm tired of people toying with perceptions and things because what's the point? I'm just trying to be happy. You're just trying to be happy. Just live and let live kind of thing. I don't know. None of that. No one needs it. I wouldn't do it to you. Anything else? I just want something real to come through. Something real. Something great. If it was like extraordinary. Something real. It's just it's a fantasy, but to just come change your world around, just because this is not doing it. I'm bored. Well, I wouldn't be if I felt like I had the freedom to like do the things I want, but I don't know what to do with myself here. Maybe it's because I don't live in an area that is more facilitating towards artistic goals or something, or maybe it's because I'm not, I don't know. Like, what do you do with yourself here? Just get a 9 to 5? Like, do what? To what end? Like, there's no purpose in it. Like, besides money. You just can't really do things to the fullest here without being taken advantage of. Just things are on pause as far as painting and stuff like that goes until I don't know. It seems like if everything's going to be taken, there's no point in really putting a lot of energy into things, you know? The minute that something kind of comes together, it's just like, oh, that person did it. And you're like, am I just spinning my wheels here for no goddamn reason? Like, you can't take incentive and motivation, everything away from someone and expect them to be like, oh yeah, no, I'll just keep working. Like, person that just like pushes something up a hill just for it to roll down, or moving water from one place to another just for kicks. Like, that's how it makes me feel. Because what other end is there to just, I'm not trying to work in politics, I'm not trying to get there, like, you know, over here. No, what's the point? What more is there to do? So, I just sort of want to be free of being, you know, I want to be able to fix my hair without people being like, that's a performance, she doesn't mean anything she needs, you know? It's kind of like, I don't know. I could like maybe even commit to that if I had the other things in place, you know, that, but it's not as important as a lot of other things to me. So I'm just, same with people I don't know. Sorry. You have to actually, I don't want to use the word worthwhile because that gets into whole like issues of people's like value and whatever. But I'm like, oh, I'm not the one who like called something a penny, like, but okay. You know, just, I can't think of the right word, but like, you gotta, not like an all-knowing God. Gotta do something to like actually, first of all, make me aware that you exist. Second of all, like, to make me even like consider going out of my way for you, or to like, you know, I would never give up what I want in my life and things like that for people I don't know. I've already had 7 years. Wasn't enough for you people? You didn't get enough? You didn't get enough free service and someone just doing as much as they can for you? I guess that's too bad then. You should try to, you know, be someone who is like, okay, I'll just use the word worthwhile enough to like go out of their way for and do all those things, give up their entire life and a happiness for. Like, that's what you're asking of me. You don't realize what you're asking of me. You have no idea how any of this works, or the psychic things or predictions or anything. So why would you come to me and tell me what to do? Or act like you know better? If it's so easy too and not worth paying for, then why don't you do it? Pick up a deck of cards and have at it. See what comes to you. And then there's no excuse. In any case, Cosmic Absolute, you pay me or you don't, but I'm not going to do free work for you. And I'm not going to like you if you're insulting or rude or whatever you are, putting your issues on me. We are separate. We don't have anything to do with each other. I don't work for you until I see a contract and payment, something that actually makes it worth my while. Otherwise, I'd rather put my energy into things that I enjoy. So, anyways, maybe one kids, transparent, Saturday, origin, Maybe Genesis. Rescue. Three. It's possible. God. It's possible. God. I really feel like I'm like a, hey God, it's me, Margaret, kind of. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fashion, like to put it all together, and everyone, big, amalgamation of people, potential people, and possibilities and faces. So, like, God, fashion, and all of the above. And again, stop. Maybe I should go with the V1 that says no.